sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Goose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Hey, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Hope you're all having a great morning. It's time to wake up, and yeah, I slept in a little bit today because we got back last night from our little adventure to Tombstone, Arizona. That was a fun time. We yeah we went out there. It's something we've been wanting to do, and had a good time. So let's jump in and see who's here. We got Aaron here this morning. Good morning. We got Joan Hegman. Good morning. We got Bestie. Good morning. Who else? We got Vet Firefighter. Good morning. We got Coop in here this morning. Good morning, Coop. Colleen is here. Good morning. Francis V. Good morning. Usually with the replay. Well, I'm glad you could make it this morning. Who else we got? Oh, we got TC's in here. Good morning. All right. That's yeah, it was a fun trip. I really enjoyed it. We stayed in a really nice hotel. If you guys are ever looking to go to Tombstone, I highly recommend the Inn History. It's right near the historic district of Tombstone, and very modern, but also very Western. And yeah, we really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. We we checked out the town. We watched the hey, good morning, Ruth. We watched the gunfight show. That was good. Bought some souvenirs. Yep, very cool. But yeah, it's fun. That's something that we've talked about, that we've been wanting to do, and we knew it was a long drive, and that was the hardest part. Was from us, it was about 6.5 to 7 hours. So that was that was all. But we did what we wanted. We got to go check it out, and yeah, it was fun. I'm trying to think what else. What else are things that we want to do? Um, I think our next big adventure will be to San Francisco. I do. Uh, we've been wanting to do that trip for a while. Sorry, I got someone here texting me. So what else is going? I've not kept up on a lot of this stuff. I was driving, uh, and then in Tombstone, I tried to keep up on some of the things happening. I know there's a lot of updates in the cases. Um, People were upset that the judge isn't going to sanction Stupid Dave. Sanctions are a tough thing. It's a very high bar. So, I've told people don't get all wrapped up about all of the motions. You know, there's going to be some that Jeremy does not win. That's just the way it is. Um, don't get emotionally invested in them. And some people are. We were going to, but a couple things in the situation changed. So yeah, that's rather than sit here, I was like, okay, we've been wanting to go to Tombstone, so let's go to Tombstone. So that's how that worked out, and it was fine. We had fun. Um, yeah, it was somewhere that we've never been before, and we like those adventures. While I was gone, I did do my little post about Senator Kelly. And I didn't take sides with anything. I just pretty much said, look, he is retired. He is subject to the UCMJ. And there are the UCMJ. I've had all these people be like, there was no crime. There was no crime. The UCM, it does not matter to the UCMJ. When you are a military member, uh, you are to be above reproach. And what that means is like the perception of impropriety is impropriety. That's what that is. You, especially as an officer, you're held to a higher standard. Now, me, I didn't take a military retirement. I had what I now know to be medical things that were happening to me that I decided to leave active duty. I did come back as a reservist, um, but yeah, I just knew things weren't right, so I didn't want to be a problem. I left uh, active duty, so I am not subject to the UCMJ. Uh, but if you retire, guess what? Part of those retirement documents that you sign, when you agree to take your pension, you are agreeing to be uh, still subject to the UCMJ. And I've seen people who they should realize that, but I think maybe they overlook it because like I've seen veterans or retired military members uh lose their pension over something as simple as a marijuana arrest. I've seen it. Like, yeah, you're not going to be actively drug tested, but if you get arrested for it, you're still subject to the UCMJ. The, I have to laugh because the people telling me no, no, no were the ones who, when the one dude he wasn't even at J6, but he was arrested as part of the J6 conspiracy. They took away his VA payments, and they were like, that can happen. Um, like, yes, you can lose your VA payments, but to lose your VA, like, as part of a felony, but for something that you aren't even physically present at, that is bullshit. That is 100% bullshit. Um, like, yeah, like to lose it for, a conspiracy, like, really? But there's no question if Kelly did the video. Like, he did the video. Really, where they screwed up was that whole video was addressed to the military members. So it gives the perception that they are trying to influence active duty military members. And that's wrong. That I'm telling you right now, that is wrong. It's a violation of Article 82, which is solicitation to commit a crime. It's a violation of 133, which is conduct unbecoming of an officer, and Article 134, the general article. And again, remember, I said you have to be above reproach. Now, normally, enlisted are charged with 134 and officers are charged with 133, but they can be both, or non-commissioned officers can be charged and above can be charged with 133, and enlist or officers can also be charged with 134. They generally don't do that only because it's kind of 133 is conduct unbecoming, which is like you knew better. You knew better, and you're held to a higher standard. That's where that comes from. And then enlisted normally get charged with 134. And uh but they can everyone can be charged with 134 though. They can. It's just whenever I've seen an officer charged, they normally go with 133. And I do have, some experience with this. I have filled out charge sheets myself. I have been uh, I I was never convening authority, but I did preside over a summary court martial. I did recommend people for court martial. Um, so yeah, I do have some experience in this, and the people who were coming at me, telling me, um, no, 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 I'm like, "N- really? Because you're gonna have to show me where I'm wrong." Okay. Oh, there's a thing. UMass lost to Bowling Green, and they went 0-12, so they're officially the worst team in college football this year. Hey, Jeanette. Hey, Channel Meme News. Good to see you. Uh, I still laugh that Deuce tried to shut down Channel Meme News. Like, you do real like we need to get those documents all together. And like I was just threatened yesterday by the Wreath. I didn't check my messages until this morning. He sent it yesterday. I saw it this morning. Um, I'm being threatened with lawsuits. And it's like, for me, it's like, oh, bring it on. Bring it on. Because I have Deuce's letter that he wrote to YouTube about me. Um, and, I'm sure Channel Meme News, we can provide the proof that well, actually, that was in a court filing. So it's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Bring your lawsuit, because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to then countersue in a federal lawsuit with an anti-slap, because I have enough now to show that Bruce has not only tried to silence me, but tried to silence other people. And if you're bringing a lawsuit, it is only to silence me. And I will absolutely have that out. You know, unlike other people, I'm not running, okay, because of anything legal. And I'm also not going to say, oh, yeah, I said it on my show rather than on a phone call, because that would be illegal. Like, no, the manner I say this doesn't matter. And anyone believing that line of bullshit is just an idiot. Uh, And it's coming from a straight bullshitter too. Yeah, the wreath is a tool. He is. It just made me laugh. It made me laugh because it's like, okay, well, bring your lawsuit. Bring your lawsuit. Like, it's like Cook is out there threatening people right now, threatening to sue like Sean Martin, and it's like, dude, you don't. First off, you don't really have a case. Good luck. What are you going to sue him for? You saying, well, he didn't use our evidence. It was the same evidence that was already presented. All the Trump bots demanding Kelly be court-martialed while they ignore Ambassador Huckabee sucking off convicted Zionist spy Jonathan Pollard in the embassy. I'm not a fan of Jonathan Pollard. I think that's bullshit too. I don't know of anyone happy about Jonathan Pollard. Laura Loomer, maybe, but uh, her and Ben Shapiro, but they're Jews, so of course they're going to put Israel first. Everyone keeps saying there's this debate in the GOP about Israel first. It's not a debate. Like MAGA is not putting Israel first. That's the old guard establishment Republicans who are out of power right now. You know, uh, the Tucker has been MAGA. He's been probably the most MAGA voice, and he's made it clear. Yeah, no, Israel's not a thing, and the people who are attacking, um, who they're trying to they're trying to ignore Tucker and put Nick Fuentes as the leader of the party, at least when it comes to talking heads. I'll just tell you right now, I'm not a fan of Nick Fuentes. I realize he's, and I wouldn't even call him MAGA. He said some pretty nasty things about Trump during the election. He was hedging his bet. Tucker, however, was not. Israel owns Trump. No, in fact, Trump was really pissed at Netanyahu during the whole Iran thing. Uh, I will say this: Trump was very decisive when he did decide to make a play. But yeah, I don't see anyone in the Trump administration, like, when I say the administration, I'm not talking about the ambassador. I'm talking about like at the White House supporting Pollard. Don't see that at all. There is a significant part of the uh, Republican Party. It's the Christian wing, who is a minority. The evangelical Christians are a minority in the Republican Party. They used to hold way more power than what they did. Um, but yeah, over time, they're pushing abortion as the main issue just deteriorated their support. So I would say they're probably a good 20% of the party. And they also pull in a lot of money. But there's a lot of establishment who are cozying up to that side, and they're joining on to the Israel First crowd. Trump campaigned on America First, and that's where Trump is right now, getting his disapprovals, because people are like, no, we wanted America first, no one else first. And Trump is hearing that, and I'm seeing him move back to his domestic. Uh, the Adelsons are Trump's largest donors. Okay, that doesn't, just because they're a Trump donor doesn't mean they own Trump. um, like, you'd have to show me like where Trump is actively doing something. Like the whole thing with Iran, he was pissed. He was pissed at Netanyahu. And I think that hurt. I think that hurt their relationship. But uh, yeah, I think that hurt their relationship, and I think it's also going to, you know, change the way Trump does things. Trump's closer to Saudi Arabia, absolutely, and we've seen that. Um, yeah, you're seeing Trump and Saudi Arabia get very, very cozy, more so than probably any other president. Uh, and the Saudi royal family is is very good. The sad thing is they don't control Saudi Arabia. The imams control a very significant portion of Saudi Arabia. They hold a lot of power, so it's very tenuous in Saudi Arabia as to who will uh, what they can do. I'll say that. But yeah, and I experienced that when I lived out there. But yeah, I don't like the people trying to make this as this internal GOP debate and saying it's breaking up MAGA. I don't think it's breaking up MAGA. I don't think most of MAGA does not give a shit about Israel. They care about America first. I'm sorry if I heard something. What is wrong with protecting the homeland? I mean, I think you should protect yourself. What civilians are you talking about? Um, there's an IRS suit against Senator Jim Justice. Um, oh, West Virginia. Okay. The couple agreed to pay 5 million unpaid federal tax income liabilities. Hmm. This Netflix 80 show. Oh, they're bringing back Star Search. Whatever. The original American Idol. The thing about those shows is you don't know what you're going to get. So sometimes it's magic, sometimes it's absolute shit. Um, Stranger Things final season's about to come out. Actually, is that today? I think that comes out today. Yes, Greg. So I did a whole video about that last week, and I put out a couple shorts. Yeah, Robert O'Neill is suing the Tier One podcast, and the Tier One podcast, they're acting like idiots. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, they're talking about red light cameras. The ACLU is suing here in California for those cameras and license plate readers have been up for like they really started going up. I would say 2012, 2013 is when I noticed it. But they were perfectly fine with them until hey, guess what? You put those up and you're using them, to pad your local tax revenue. And guess what? Now ICE is using them, and they're using them to track and figure out patterns of people who are illegal. And they don't like that. The ACLU does not. Now all of a sudden, these things are a problem. It's like, hey, ACLU, why were they okay for 12 years? Hmm? Because the ACLU is nothing but partisan shills. Linda Early, good to see you. Glad to have you here. uh, Oh, I do want to make sure I'm setting up so that this redirects everyone to Coop and Georgie. I want to do that. I am not going into the office today. I wasn't expecting to be back today, or at least, or I wasn't supposed to be back last night. We were going to come back this morning, but we did everything we wanted. We were like, okay, we'll just take off. But yeah, I told them if they need me, I'm here, but I'm not coming in. Oh, you got the coop. The I see you got the Freedom Flock back up. Make sure you guys go to TC and check out the Freedom Flock. Okay, I'm looking for Coop and Georgie's live. I see one for Friday. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Boom. So now when we end this, everyone's going over to Coop and George. We're good. Is that right? Is that right? They suspended the wreath in the group. See, that's one thing I find funny. All these people are like, Skipper's controlling that group and he's acting like. I, I barely do anything in the group. Like, I set up the rules. I set up the rules, and, all the other mods, I'm like, hey, as long as we're doing things by the rules, I don't care. But yeah, the wreath got suspended for 12 hours. What else? Ooh, sorry, I'm reading someone's thing. Cat, get out of here. You're just gonna cause problems. The cat, I swear to God, he's been extra chaos. Like, I was getting a call from Kelly while we were at Tombstone saying, you won't believe what your cat did now. Right? Right? He should be suspended for 12 years. I mean, he'll, they're not smart, and they're going to keep breaking the rules. And yeah, that's the rules are the rules. People were mad about Trump and Mandami. I'm not. You got to work with other politicians. Like, it doesn't have to be antagonistic. And that's one thing I will say about Trump. If you show up and you're respectful to Trump, like, and when I say respectful, like, it would be smart to kiss his ass because it's going to get you somewhere with him, but you don't have to. You just don't have to be a dick to him, and he's going to be just fine with you. And you saw that with Mondami, like, and other people, uh, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, all her bullshit is because she's getting to get primaried. Oh well, what? I don't want any backroom deals about, oh, we're not going to primary. No, you should be primaried. If someone wants to run against you, okay, yeah, you should be primaried. Um, Deion Sanders says he's not a loser before what? Okay. His team is 3-8 and he has lost 4 straight games, but Sanders also stressed he's not a loser and knows how to right the ship. But then this article is too disjointed. It goes back and forth between NFL and college. I don't give a shit about NFL. Like, NFL it's a lot of prima donnas and a lot of people who forgot what they're supposed to be doing. Missing Virginia coach wanted on child porn charges. Ooh, who is this? Oh, it's a Virginia high school coach. Travis Turner is wanted on 5 counts of possession of child pornography. It's not immediately known if the alleged crimes involve a student or athlete or whether there's more than one victim in the case. Hmm. Union High School in Wise County team is on the midst of a perfect season and is set to play in the 2D championship game. The school is in Big Stone Gap in southwest Virginia, about 35 miles northwest of Bristol. So, okay, they're considering him a fugitive and searching him out. Rigid thinking determines that if you are critical of geopolitical Zionist Israel means you must be okay with Hamas and terrorism, is why most people can't stand average Trump voters. Israel's not a top issue for Trump voters. It's not. Um, most of MAGA is America first. It's the establishment who cares the most about Israel. Dwayne, get the hell out. Get the hell out. Uh, you know how lawyers' fees have gone from 7,500 to 6,000. What's going on there? Um, well, they're probably getting money from one of their sources. And here's the thing, like, that's a lot of money for a retainer for a lawyer. Like, I have seen lawyers who charge 7,500. I have. Most of them charge 3 to 5,000. Uh, I guarantee you, but lawyers can choose what their retainer is going to be, and they can choose that based upon the client. I think they're looking at Lynette's case and they're like, okay, this is someone with not a lot of income who's being very litigious. Okay, yeah, I'll make my money off on this. Someone tipped him off that the cops were on their way to his house to pick him up. I would not be surprised. In a lot of those small towns, the head football coach of the high school holds a lot of sway. I wouldn't be surprised. They should investigate the uh, the uh, the cops and see who tipped him off. Uh, oh, here we go. Will Mark Kelly case reach courts? It's dead on arrival, experts say. Yeah, they've said that about a lot of stuff that proved to not be true. The Pentagon's investigation into alleged misconduct by Mark Kelly faces significant legal challenge. Really? Uh, the Pentagon cited Uniform Code of Military Justice, body of federal law that governs. Okay. Kelly retired from both the U.S. Navy and NASA, where he was an astronaut in 2011. Military retirees remain subject to the laws that prohibit actions intended to interfere with the loyalty, morale, or good order and discipline of the armed forces. That is what the War Department stated, and that is 100% true. Both legal and military experts say Kelly committed no crime in the video that would violate articles of the UCMJ, including articles related to sedition. I would agree that the whole sedition argument is a very weak argument. Here's the thing. Sedition has actually, because it's charged so few, it's never been challenged really in court. Um, and at the times where it has been challenged, there's been other stuff. So it's more like a secondary charge. Um, and at that point, they probably got you on the first charge. My prediction is it will never make it into a courtroom. Will be dead on arrival. Eugene R. Fidel, who teaches military justice at Yale Law School. Yeah, if if you're not a JAG, yeah, I really don't give a shit about your opinion because teaching military justice does not make you an expert on military law. Um, I would absolutely defer to a JAG and debate and talk about their opinion on this. Um, Nothing that Kelly said or did violates any provision of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Oh, I disagree. I disagree. Article 133 and 134, you got to realize, like, those are very vague. And again, it goes back to good order and discipline. That, like, those are real. Like, you don't have free speech in the military. You don't. Um, let's see what else. So they're still talking to this uh military, what was his thing? He was a military justice. Okay. It could die in a variety of ways before it makes it to the court. The okay, we need to turn so it would need to be turned into a report submitted to a commanding officer or military authority for a preliminary inquiry. True. Then a commander would decide whether Kelly should be arrested or put into pretrial confinement. True. Next would be the actual trial of alleged offenses. True. But one thing a commander could do is to simply not take any action. True. Absolutely true. All that is true. Um, but if you don't think a commander is going to take that seriously, I think I yeah, that's a big hope. That is a big hope. Um, like there's a you can definitely infer things. You know, it's like when Trump says people can be hanged for sedition, and then people immediately say Trump is trying to hang the Democrats. Okay, so you're taking inference from Trump, but then Kelly says, "Hey, don't follow unlawful orders." I can also reasonably infer that he's telling people, military members, not to follow orders. Because for you to not follow an unlawful order, it doesn't matter that, a federal judge a month after I was ordered determined that it was unlawful. That doesn't matter. That order has to be on its face unlawful at the time it's given. I have to look at that immediately, say, "Oh, that's not lawful at all." That is how that goes. And if I'm not going to follow an order, there's also a process. It's like conscientious objector. If you're going to claim to be a conscientious objector, there's a process you need to go through. Um, it was like I thought the whole giving vaccines was bullshit, but um, it was a lawful order, and people who were getting kicked out uh, for refusing it, they were getting kicked out. And I felt then, hey, I said that is a lawful order. However, you have to focus on the vaccine that they're giving them. And yeah, if you didn't want to take the vaccine, you were going to get kicked out. I praised you for taking a stand. I did. Um, and I thought it was bullshit because it was an experimental vaccine. Uh, but all those people who did do that are since vindicated, but not through the UCMJ. What the government has said is, hey, if you were kicked out for not taking it, we're going to absolve you of that. So they still did not follow a lawful order. It's just the Department of War said, we're going to overlook it and you can come back in. We're going to give you back pay. That's what they said. But they were they were refusing to follow what they thought was an unlawful order, but it was absolutely lawful. Now, the threat is if you do and the Democrats get back into the White House, they will prosecute. They can only do that for people who are retired from the military. So, I mean, they've already prosecuted General Flynn, you know? So I would say, okay, there is, like, we know it's going to happen. So why take Why act like it's not? They're going to do it whether you do it or not, because they've already done it. The whole thing with General Flynn was completely and totally bullshit. They could have called him back to active duty and done exactly this here if Flynn had broken anything of the UCMJ. He did not break anything of the UCMJ, at least from all the stuff I've seen. Like, and people, oh, Logan Act, look, no, no. Again, the Logan Act, like, if you're just talking to people, that's not a violation of the Logan Act. You have to be like negotiating things, and not even just advocating on their behalf. You like literally, it's the intent was if you were negotiating things, but they pressured Flynn to take a plea due to because they threatened to go after his family, which is bullshit. Uh-huh. Yeah, Trump and Hegseth called it seditious behavior. I don't think you don't even have to bring sedition into it. It's a violation of Article 133. A violation of Article 1 or Article 82. There you go. It's done. Uh, okay, here we go. Here's an example. As a candidate during 2016 presidential election, Trump called U.S. Army Bowie Bergdahl a traitor, suggested harsh punishment for a soldier who left his post in 2009 while deployed in Afghanistan. In 2017, Bergdahl pled guilty to desertion, misbehavior before the enemy. He was dishonorably discharged and demoted. Bergdahl later filed an appeal citing Trump's comments about his case. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Armed Forces rejected Bergdahl's appeal. Hey, thank you, TC. Thank you.
I like money.
And he calls me Gru too. See, look, people can make fun of me. I don't mind putting it up. But yeah, Bergdahl lost his appeal. Now here's another case that they mention. In 2013, a Navy judge in Hawaii found that then President Barack Obama to have exerted unlawful command influence after he suggested. So Trump and Hegseth are saying sedition. Okay. Now I know if this comes to a trial, Kelly's going to say that's unlawful command influence, but that's actually kind of smart by Trump and Hegseth saying sedition, because if he gets put under trial for those three articles I mentioned, none of those are sedition. So where's the unlawful? Like, we didn't prosecute them for that. Colonel Morris Davis, former chief military Obama exerted unlawful command influence after he suggested that those convicted of military sexual assault should be punished with a dishonorable discharge. Okay. But again, there's no, like, we're talking about, they were convicted of the crime. Okay. Like, I don't think Kelly's going to be charged with sedition. I really don't think so. Colonel Morris Davis, former chief military commission prosecutor at Guantanamo, said that both Trump and Hegseth have expressed their views on the outcome of the trial, or on the outcome which would make it difficult for a jury to be impartial. I mean, that's up for debate. Kelly could always use that as a defense. Always could. Kelly could turn to the federal courts. I mean, he could. Rachel Van Linningham, a professor of Southwestern law and a former Air Force lawyer. I have a hard time seeing that he's court-martialed, because I think if they tried to recall him to active duty, he should go to federal court and get an injunction. That would be Very smart of him. Here's the problem with that. While there's federal court doctrine that instructs federal courts to refrain from intervening in ongoing military court martials, I was going to mention that. Lanningham said there are two exceptions: an immediate threat of irreparable harm when there is no impartial tribunal in the military to hear the case. Here's the other problem with that. The Supreme Court gives the Department of War very wide latitude. Literally, they have their own court, okay? And especially when it comes to good order and discipline, the Supreme Court many times does not get involved in military matters. Because again, they're like, good order and discipline is it's necessary for the military, and the commander in chief has to ensure good order and discipline. And that means that's why military members don't have a freedom of speech. Yeah, they're focusing on the fair and impartial trial. I mean, they could. They absolutely could argue that. And the defense would be wise to argue that. She said retired military members do not have to be recalled to active duty to be court-martialed. She pointed to a case where Army General James Gratzioplan, who retired in 2005, was court-martialed following a 2015 investigation that found he raped his daughter while living on military bases. He was not recalled to active duty. Yeah, but that doesn't recall. That's not a requirement. Like, yeah, you can, if you committed a civilian crime, you can still be charged with that civilian crime, even though it also is part of the UCMJ. And this is where the military, again, the military has special leeway and stuff. So if they were to charge him civilian and he got off of the rape, the military could still charge him. Of the exact same things and throw in other charges like 133, 134, all those things too. So yeah, like, and I know there people are like, that's double jeopardy. Guess what? Good order and discipline. That is the trump card that the military has. And they've done it before. They have. That's why I say, like that's where, like, the National Guard not having a Sixth Amendment right, I think that's bullshit. It is the reality right now. So yeah, I don't see him being charged with sedition. I don't see that at all. Yeah, Van Lanningham says the punishment would be the process. So lawfare, like what was done to Trump, like that, especially with Kelly. Kelly campaigned for the woman who was going after the alternate electors in Arizona. So it's like you played this game, and now you're mad that Trump, he gets a turn. I would have told the Democrats that video that they put out was very unwise. But, Trump gets to fuck with Kelly's life. And you, Senator Kelly, you put yourself in that situation. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking at the time. Coop and Georgie are going to be starting, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you for all the questions, comments, all that good stuff. And I'll be back tomorrow for a Thanksgiving show. And yeah, thank you. And you guys have a good day. And thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.